Hi guys, this is Colin with Colin Talks Crypto. Just going to give you guys a quick update on the Bitcoin price in relation to the global M2 money supply and show you the Bitcoin chart as well. So what do we have going on right now? We have Bitcoin basically just broke out of this channel for the first time in 3 months, broke out to the downside. Honestly, I don't know where this is going to stop. And so I wanted to take a moment and look at how this recent move and breakdown out of this 3-month channel relates to the global M2 money supply. Global liquidity, aka the M2 money supply of all countries collectively, does seem to be a leading indicator for the moves that Bitcoin is going to make. One thing to point out is that the broader the time frame we're looking at, probably the more accurate this correlation. Every one of these little colored circles I drew on here actually does correlate, roughly speaking, or very precisely speaking, to a move that Bitcoin makes. If you haven't watched my last videos explaining how this correlation exists, I recommend that you do so. It explains how I've shifted this chart forward currently by 46 days in order for it to line up with the Bitcoin chart. So the drop that we had recently out of the channel is represented from here to here. This is that drop. And there's no telling exactly where it's going to stop. However, I do want to note that if we are strictly comparing it to the global M2 money supply, what happens next after that initial drop? Let's say from this green circle down to this blue circle, which was represented by this green and blue circle on the global M2 money supply. What happens next? Well, the global M2 money supply appears to go sideways for just a couple days until about February 28th. So if this parallel holds true, and I'm not saying that this is a guarantee, I'm observing this with you guys as a point of curiosity and really fascinating to me, this correlation over time. But if this parallel continues to hold true, that would mean that this is where the global M2 money supply is currently forecasting or predicting that the Bitcoin price will then take off, and it will take off and basically not look back. I suspect that this will also hold true for stocks, but I haven't done that exact correlation. Feel free to overlay those charts if you want to see that exact correlation. But the chart that we're looking at right now is the Bitcoin chart, and that's what I care the most about. So I personally think that if we just hold tight until approximately March 6th, give or take a couple days in either direction, because this is broadly accurate in my observation, I think that we will be rewarded by a pretty steady and consistent move up for really, what is this? Another month, like at least a month. And if we move the chart, actually we've got more data now. Yeah, I mean, it keeps basically going up till April 13th. So from March 6th till April 13th, the global M2 money supply is saying that Bitcoin could be following that direction. That's a long uptrend. And in my belief, that will take us to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. One comment I got and I want to address is the point of, well, if the global M2 money supply has not yet broken a new all-time high, as I'm showing you right here, then how could the Bitcoin price break into a new all-time high? And all I can say is it's directionally correlated. I don't think that the global M2 money supply has to break into a new all-time high range, although that would be absolutely fantastic. And on this current trajectory, it does look like it might be heading toward new all-time highs. But I don't think that it has to break into new all-time highs for Bitcoin itself to break into new all-time highs. Why do I say that? Because let's take a point on the chart here, right here, where Bitcoin, right before it dropped, it was $96,000. Where was the M2 money supply? It was right here. Now, let's find a point that's very similar back here on the chart where Bitcoin was 94, 95, here's $96,000. The same price horizontally as here, right? Well, where was the global M2 money supply at that point? It was way up here. So you've got the same Bitcoin price horizontally as a comparison, but a massively different range of the global M2 money supply. That's showing you how they're not exactly synced. They're only directionally correlated. I try to explain this. The global M2 money supply, it's a leading indicator that gives us an idea of where global liquidity will flow. thereby telling us in advance what direction the Bitcoin price will go. Not the exact percentage gain that the Bitcoin price is going to move by, but just the directional move that's going to be made. And so again, if we follow that and we zoom in, it looks to me like we have a blast off of March 6th. And let's zoom way out here for one moment before I end this video. I don't want to make this video too long, but basically I want to show you how this is the very, very zoomed out chart for Bitcoin and for the global M2 money supply. And you can see how they very roughly correlate. And again, the thing that I observed that I have not heard anyone else talking about is how this shift in offset changes through time. You can see how it's linked up right here, but then other portions of the chart are not linked up, like the COVID dip doesn't match up. You'd have to shift it around to make it match up better. But on an overall basis, this is a leading indicator. Right now, it's a 46-day offset. But if we were to change it to be back to its native 0 offset, this is actually what the chart looks like. See how it shifted back? Now COVID does line up a little better, but this bottom does not. And so as time moves on, you have to change that offset to make it link up. And currently, I feel that about 46 days, pushing that global M2 money supply forward by about 46 days does give us the best approximate correlation between the Bitcoin price and the global M2 money supply, as shown by the original video. Okay, guys, so I hope that you found this useful. Please give me a follow if you haven't already. Please give me a subscribe, share my content, and let's see what happens. I'm really excited to see if the Bitcoin price does what I'm hoping it does, and I think that we all hope it does, which is fake everybody out, 3 more days, 4 more days, and then begin the move upward no later than the first week of March, and basically not look back for a month to come. Have a great day, guys.